Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Good Night Meditation series. Hope you had a wonderful Saturday today. And today we are going to start with a little story. I'm sure everyone likes listening to stories, isn't it? So there was this one little eaglet, and it gets lost. Sometimes it gets separated from its mother, and then somehow it meets this little group of chicks, and then it gets mixed up with them, playing with them as little babies, and then somehow it started living with those chicks. And this mother chicken, it also raises this little eaglet as a chicken. And being a baby, it doesn't know that it's an eagle. So naturally, it is raised and it also think that I am a chicken. But whenever this little eaglet, it looks up in the air, looks at those eagle flying high in the sky, it thinks that I want to fly high. But then he thinks that, that I am a chicken, so how can I fly high? And then somewhere internally deep down, it is somewhere restless, being on the ground all the time, because naturally, originally, it is an eagle. And so one day it tries to, flap its wing and try to fly. But then these other little chicks, they remind him that, you are a chicken. And as a chicken, we cannot fly high. So then again, it gets back to the ground, but with that little upset within, and he becomes um, very quiet and restless internally because he starts feeling there is something missing. And then again, one day, it starts flapping the wing. It comes down a little bit, again, flap the wings, and then it can fly in the air. And that is the moment when this eaglet, it becomes an eagle and feels free, being in the air, secured, at peace, happy. Because originally it was an eagle, and then it finds out that I am an eagle and not the chicken. And that is the natural nature for it to fly in the air. And now for us, somewhere we have become like this little eaglet. We forgot what is our natural nature. And in our awareness, we know that we are a human being, all right? But what is our natural nature, really? It is to live a life peacefully, to be happy and cheerful all the time. And that is what is our natural nature. But while in our day-to-day life, while taking any actions, we forget that that is our natural nature. And then when some circumstances come, Then there is this subtle irritation. We react to the situations and other people and their behavior. And that is why many times, if you notice, we say that what am I looking for is peace and happiness deep down internally, right? We never say that, I like to be angry or irritated or upset, do we? So, as a human being, we are very well aware the fact that we are humans, and in our day-to-day life, we actually, in our consciousness, feel in our awareness, know that I am a human. And even if we say I am a human being, but we have really forgotten the being part of it. And who we truly are is not something that is physical, that is visible to the eyes, but who we truly are is this inner experience, a tiny little star, a point of light that sits within this, in this body, and experiences all the time. It sees using windows of these eyes, listens using these ears, it takes actions using this body. And the natural nature for this being, the true self, the real I, is peace, being peaceful, happy, loveful. And that is why we always like to get back to these feelings, because that is our original nature. And that always gives us security, that freedom. And if you notice, whenever we are in this space of peaceful and happy, everything feels very easy, isn't it? And even if in that particular stage, something unpleasant physically happens, but still we don't react to that situation because we are in that stage of being peaceful and happy. But what has happened to us is we have really forgotten who we truly are. And so it is very important for us to be always in the awareness of this real self, the true self. And just like we listen this little story of Eaglet, we can take many, many examples. But another example is, for example, for a fish. The natural nature for a fish is to swim in the water, be in the water. If we take that fish outside the water, what happens? It becomes uncomfortable to the extent that it can even die, right? And so for us, the natural nature is being in the awareness of this true, real self. That is why we always look for the peace and happiness and love in everything, in our day-to-day life, in our relationships, at the job, anywhere, right? And so now, today in our meditation, what we will do is we will experience our true self, our real self, and experience that natural nature, that normal nature that we have, and find out that it's really not difficult for us to remain in that true awareness of the true self. Okay, now just sit very comfortably. Make sure that the feet are on ground, hands are rested comfortably, no pull in any of the muscles. Just become aware of the physical environment, this physical body. Just become aware and accept the environment as it is. Take one deep breath. And now, let us shift our attention inwardly and let us focus on experiencing this true real self, an invisible being that is in this body, taking actions using this body. And with the eye of a mind, it may help to visualize the true self as a tiny little star, a point of light at the center of the forehead, behind the eyes, a real experiencer, a naturally beautiful being, seeing through the windows of these eyes, speaking using this mouth, listening through these ears. The one who actually experiences, and the body is just a means of experiencing. A tiny, little, beautiful being of light that is separate from this body. The natural nature of the true self of this being is of peace, love, happiness, and nothing that is physical can harm this being of light. Things may change, circumstances may change, but the natural, original nature of this being never changes. And when we are in the awareness of this true self, the real self, then we are always at peace and always happy. When we are in the awareness of the true self, we are always secure. And this feeling of security brings out best in us. A tiny little being, it's an angelic being, having all these beautiful virtues of an angel. Just try and feel the peace and security that comes with this awareness of the true self. An invisible being of light. When we know the real self, the true self, we know it doesn't lack anything. And when we are full, we are in the stage of feeling peaceful and happy. There is always this feeling that desire comes of giving peace and happiness and love to others. Because all the people that we see, they're all these beings of light, just like me. And when I break this filter of the body and look at the real self, even in others, I accept them as they are, because their role, their behavior, anything that is physical that changes doesn't matter. We know that the other people, they are also a being of light, just like me. A feeling of brotherhood, a feeling of unconditional love. And this highest consciousness, the awareness that brings out best in us. And there is absolutely zero restlessness when we are in this true awareness. And now slowly and gently as we come to an end of this meditation exercise, let us try and hold this awareness of the real self, the peaceful, happy being of light, even as we go to the bed and tomorrow morning when we get up. Just remind or ask yourself, who am I truly? And see and try and feel the natural nature throughout the day as you take actions tomorrow and for the rest of this evening. Thank you and have a good night.